There's so much drama going on right now.
Girl, she not ready to have her.
Hey, what is up, all my social climbing friends? It's Dustin, and I'm back with the love of my life.
Hi.
Nick Snyder.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
I woke up. I'm happy. I'm here. I smell good because the gift that you got me.
Wearing my
Oh, I forgot to put on my ring.
Oh, you're trying to give a little subliminal message here to the people that are watching?
No, not
Is that
at
what's
all.
happening? Well, you are in luck. Because I brought you the ring.
Oh,
Yep.
look at
Don't
God.
need anybody coming after my man.
Because they will, girl. They will. They have been for the past week. It just will not stop.
Over there on the Twitter.
Yeah, but that is not what we're here to talk about. Because apparently, the usual suspect, Jeffree Star, he's in some drama, but it's not really technically him saying anything this time. It's what other people are saying, and I wanted to come on here and talk about it.
Is it something where Jeffree's behind the scenes?
No.
Pulling strings, people like to say?
No.
No?
For the first time, no.
Shocker.
But the other day, someone named Michelle Range tweeted at T-Spill and said, okay, so I'll go online to Ulta, and I may be making a mountain out of a molehill, but is Morphe brushes copying at Jeffree Star? Where's T-Spill and all the other drama channels? And she linked a picture of the Blue Blood palette and then a picture of the 18B palette for Morphe. Now, at first glance at this, I was like, okay, but upon further digging,
It looks exactly the same.
well, I had to give a little bit more.
Oh, a little bit.
Because, okay, so everybody knows that Jeffree Star is known for, like, the different, like, colors that he does.
Yes.
He does, like, extreme colors, right? Well, the Blue Blood was released, and apparently Morphe had released this 18A palette. We'll get into that in just a second. But I want to cover everything that happened with Tati. Now, do you remember everything that happened?
Tati's always coming back into
Well,
this,
no,
you guys.
because
Like, damn.
this is relevant to the story because
Okay.
you remember when Tati was talking about all the stuff with James.
Okay.
She hinted that Morphe was going to be coming out with gummy vitamins, and they did come out with Morphe gummy vitamins.
Does
right?
anybody even take those vitamins? Like, you never hear someone saying, like, I'm reaching for my Morphe vitamins.
No, I don't know. I don't know if they do or not, but that was a point that was made back in the day.
I
And then
remember.
Morphe did go on to make these vitamins, right? Well, okay. So, let me scroll down here and get my receipts. I'm going to put a picture of the...
Well, wait a minute. Is Morphe... Now, okay, I get confused because I don't wear the makeup, but is Morphe one of the brands that's always getting called out for copying? Because, you know, Makeup Revolution, that's like their whole thing. Like, they do, people get upset about it, all of that. Does Morphe do that? Like, before all this?
I don't really know that they do dupes. Do they?
I don't know.
If they do, I'm not really aware.
Is anyone using Morphe anymore, girl?
A lot of people use... Jacqueline Hill uses Morphe.
I'm just kidding. Jacqueline, of course. Jacqueline will always use Morphe. Morphe could come out with just one product for the rest of their life. And
Okay,
then-
so I'm going to put a picture up here of the Morphe 18A palette now that's an exclusive at Ulta.
Okay.
Beside the old 18A palette, because this apparently was a revision, right? But it did look very similar to the Blue Blood palette, right? So they changed the packaging from this black packaging unit carton to this blue, which made it look very close to the Blue Blood.
It does look very close to the Blue Blood, I will say.
But it gets deeper.
Oh, deeper.
Okay, it gets deeper, right? So, let me go here. I have to get the other receipt. Okay. So, if you go to Google and you put in Morphe 18A palette,
Okay.
because it's supposed to be exclusive to Ulta, I'm gonna hit play here. If you go to the Morphe website, it says ghosted. This hottie left the party. What are you searching for now, Morphe babe? Well, okay. If you go over to Sephora,
It's still there.
it's still there in the old packaging while it's still supposed to be an exclusive to Ulta.
Okay, is Morphe only sold in Sephora's in Canada?
I don't
Because I don't
know.
think that they're sold in Sephora's here.
But it's the old packaging there, but
Yeah.
it's still like sketchy and suspect. Now, let's talk about the 18B because the 18B is supposed to look like the Blood Money palette. So here's a picture of the Morphe Blood Money palette.
Okay.
It's $52 on Beautylish. But if you go to Ulta's website, it's $18. 18B making bank
read that wrong.
artistry palette. What?
You read that wrong. So you said that this green one right here, this is the Blood Money palette.
Yes.
You said it was the Morphe.
No,
so the
no,
Blood
that's
Money
Jeffree Star.
is $52 on Beautylish, but if you go over to Ulta and get the exclusive 18B Make and Bank Artistry palette, which is the exact same color scheme in the background.
It is
then
the
that
same color
That's
scheme.
the exact same thing, girl.
To me, it almost seems like they're trying to play on Jeffree's stuff, right? It's just weird that, like, Morphe is known because they'll they'll redo palettes all the time because you'll see like Nikki Tutorials. I think it was like a big thing back in the day. They did the 35B.
Yeah.
There's so many different damn Morphe palettes. I don't know. And then they redid it and they added more colors to it and then they called it the 35B again.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong on which one, but I know that had
Well, didn't they say that like James Charles palette is just a revamped Morphe palette?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was an artistry palette, but a lot of people are actually talking about this because I went back and it looks like on Twitter back in 2019, it was like right after Jeffree started launching these palettes, Morphe came out with these, and it's really sketchy and sus that Sephora has the 18A on their website.
The original packaging.
Now, granted, it is the older one, the older one in the black unit carton, not the new one, but it's still sketchy. Do you think that they're trying to play a game with Jeffree like they did with Tati?
I think that they are. Shady business. Shady business, shady boots.
Morphe has always had issues like this. They're always being accused of taking... Who was calling you?
Spectrum.
Oh, they called me too, girl.
Spectrum is calling me.
Oh, I think they just called me because I got a voicemail.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
I don't know.
Get out my phone. But Morphe, they're always in some drama.
They are in some drama. I think they rely on that for a little bit of
And
sales.
you know that with Morphe and Jeffree Star, everything that happened with Jeffree and Shane, they've removed a lot of Jeffree's stuff. They're not really pushing it like they used to, and I don't think that they're reordering.
Probably not. That's why a lot of people say that the Jeffree Star ended up at TJ Maxx.
Do you think this is a play on them trying to capitalize on Jeffree's image to make like a cheaper dupe? Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't know on his image, maybe on the hate for Jeffree. They're like, oh, well, you like this palette from Jeffree that's $52. Guess what? Here it is for $18.
Well, no, it's the sketchy thing about it is they had these palettes, and they were very similar to Jeffree's palettes, and then they added the color scheme on the packaging.
Yep.
To almost make it like a dupe, right?
It's kind of like a snub at Jeffree.
It is kind of like a snub at Jeffree, and I wonder, like, I don't talk to him. I haven't talked to him. I wonder if he's aware of this even. You think he knows?
I'm sure people have probably been tagging on Twitter.
I wonder if he'll say anything.
Probably not.
Probably not, because as far as we know publicly, Jeffree and Morphe's ties together are pretty much like they don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. I think it's sketchy. At the very least, it's suspect that they would change their packaging to mimic what he already had out there. You think?
I still think Jeffree's a part owner in Morphe.
You still think he's
That's
a part?
just my opinion.
I don't know.
I think that there's some money in there. Jeffree's a very smart business person. That's why I don't think that Jeffree will ever say anything.
Yeah.
He could have invested, been a silent partner, but they're not selling any of his crap.
Yeah. You would think. Maybe it's an image issue. Maybe it's an image thing.
Of course it's an image issue, girl. Everything that Jeffree gets called out for, including Shane, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's pretty much the tea with this. We were all tagged in this on Twitter. I want to know what you guys think about all this.
Let us know.
And while I'm thinking about it, I want to thank Norvina personally because I know she watches our videos. She sent Nick and I these engagement gifts. And they're these... I don't want to... Is this Swarovski? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's different, like, names for our couple.
What's that one say?
This one says Nutsin.
Nustin. And mine says Dustin.
At least it doesn't say Nutsin.
Yeah, mine's downstairs.
That's what I thought it said for a second. I was like, "Ooh, child."
But thank you, Norvina. These are like so cute. Like, obviously, we're not gonna
drink out of them. I'm gonna display them.
Yeah, but
that's not the straw that came with this. This is just something that I stuck from.
Yeah, and it's kind of warped from being in the dishwasher a little bit, but.
I love it.
It's really cute. Thank you, Norvina. This is really, really sweet that you would think of us. But you guys, let us know your thoughts and opinions down below about this whole thing with Morphe. I know that some people will say that I'm reaching. I'm not reaching. I'm literally just reporting what people are tagging us in on Twitter and wanting us to talk about. Because it is interesting to me that it's still available in the old packaging on Sephora when it's supposed to be an Ulta exclusive. At the very least, it's suspect to me.
Business.
But you guys, I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, guys.